USA Monthly Magazine TV. I'm Angie Lozano, and we have a special treat for you today. We have a local celebrity that everybody's been asking questions about, so we will get to know a little bit more about her today. Let's welcome Miss Lorena Monroe. Hi, Lorena, how are you?
Hi, Angie, and welcome to your casa. How are you today?
Thank you so much. And I have to tell our viewers that this is not a backdrop you see behind me, and it is not a filter. We are actually in the home of Miss Lorena Monroe, and I have to tell you, it is spectacular. So thank you for allowing us in your home today.
Thank you, Angie. And so I know that we've got a lot going on this year. How exciting it is to have you right here at this casa, and you actually doing the interview for me.
Yes, I am very pleased to be doing it, and I know all our viewers are going to be so happy to see this and get to learn more about you today.
Wonderful.
So we are going to go back to the beginning of where it all started, and I believe you had mentioned you're from Puebla. So tell us a little bit about your hometown.
I was born in Puebla, Mexico, and I was up there until the age of 7. My mother got married at a very young age, and then of course she got divorced, and then she moved to Anchorage, Alaska. And while she moved to Anchorage, Alaska with my 2 sisters, she went ahead and left me back home in Mexico, in Puebla. And then when I was turning 7 years old, she requested me to come up to Anchorage, Alaska, and I did. So I have been in Anchorage, Alaska since the age of 7. I grew up in Alaska, Angie, and then my sister Felicia got married, and her husband joined the Air Force, and he got transferred from Anchorage, Alaska to Lackland Air Force Base. And so my sister, called me for 4 years and begged me to come and visit. I came to visit San Antonio, and San Antonio has been my home.
You fell in love with San Antonio, as many of us do.
Absolutely.
Very nice, very nice. And so growing up as a child, was there any heroes that you had growing up? Anybody that inspired you or that you felt you wanted to be like as you grew up?
My best hero in my life has been my mother. My mother was a tough mama. My mother was a very strict woman, so strict that I left my home at the age of 15 years old. That's how strict she was.
Wow, that is also very young.
Very young, but I want you to know that she was my best hero. My mother is the one that taught me to be who I am today, Angie.
Sometimes we don't see that growing up, right? But as we get older, we learn, and as we look back, we think, wow, they really knew what they were talking about.
Yes, we get wiser as we get older, Angie.
Very true. And so now, today, how throughout the years, have your heroes, have you added more heroes, or are there other people that inspire you?
Yes, Angie, for everyone that knows me, I think that I am the kind of woman that is inspired by many people. I've had a lot of beautiful people in my life that have been my heroes, that have been my mentors, that they are my mentors, and they helped me uplift and learned everything that I know today.
Yes, that is a wonderful thing. We always admire those people that help to lift us up, as we should all do for everybody else as well. Talking about being a child and growing up, are there any special memories, childhood memories that you have that, I know a lot of us sometimes remember that 5-year-old birthday party or the first time we went to Six Flags. Is there anything like that in your childhood?
Yeah, of course. My memories come, from Alaska. My memories come from Puebla, Mexico. So I grew up at a little town called Cholula, Puebla. And Cholula, Puebla is known to be surrounded by 365 of the most spectacular churches that you could ever see, Angie. There is one church per calendar year, 365 churches. So that's one thing that I do remember as a child. The other thing that I remember as a child is arriving to Anchorage, Alaska, and not being able to speak one word of English. And I saw that desperation that I wanted to make friends.
Yes.
And so that was a huge challenge for me. So that to me is a great memory, because I remember, Angie, that I was in such a need to learn the language. I've learned to speak the basic English within 2 months.
Wow, that is
within 3 months, the whole school was my best friend.
Well, you do make friends easily, and we all know that. And although English is the hardest language to learn, so good for you. That is amazing. That is wonderful. So I know, as everybody does know you, we know you to be a hard worker. You always have a project going on. You have a meeting here, a meeting there. You're always busy. And so I want to take it to back where it started as far as your entrepreneurial spirit. What was your first job growing up?
Well, you know what, Angie, like I said earlier, I left my home at the age of 15 years old, and I was recommended to go to a shelter home. And I went to a beautiful shelter home in Anchorage, Alaska, and I went over there to ask for a little bit of help. And right there, when I was in that shelter home, that's, Angie, where I saw everything. I saw the need of just everything, you know, because I happened to see people that, you know, were, you know, abused, people that were in drugs, people that didn't have any homes, people, you know. So at that time I saw myself and I said, we got to do something, you know, and I prayed. You know, I'm a woman that prays.
Yes.
You know,
yes, absolutely.
I work by the power of prayer, and I prayed, and I had a beautiful dream. And I dreamed that I was cleaning windows, and that I was looking at the sky, and that I looked at a beautiful sun shining through the sky, you know, and through the clouds. And I said, you know what? We're going to start a cleaning company. So my very, very first business, Angie, was starting a cleaning company at the age of 15 years old.
Oh my goodness, yes, I believe you. You are the entrepreneur.
Within 3 months, I had one of the most stable and fastest growing companies in Anchorage, Alaska, in the cleaning service. All the people that were in that shelter, I put them to work. I gave them a reason to live.
Yes, that is the best thing, to give purpose.
Exactly. I gave them a purpose to wake up and be excited, you know, and so I will always remember that, and I am proud of that, because, you know, that put me through the school that I was able to put myself through, which was a cosmetology school, and I took 2 years when I moved to San Antonio, from Anchorage, Alaska to San Antonio. I took 2 years right here at San Antonio College. I took 2 years of business administration, and just a little bit that I was able to put myself through.
Yes.
And then, of course, Angie, you know, I found love in my life, the father of my 2 beautiful boys, Devin, Eric, and Dylan, Aaron. And of course, I got married. And then when I got married, I moved into a totally different stage of my life. But I want you to know, Angie, that when I first arrived from Anchorage, Alaska to San Antonio, my first company here in San Antonio was door-to-door knocking at Lackland Air Force Base.
And what were you knocking on the door for? What would you?
I was selling Bonita Natural. I was selling cosmetics and beautiful clothing.
That's when Bonita Natural was born.
Exactly, exactly. You know, the company used to be called Lorzwa. Lorzwa. And then my brother, Manuel, had always called me Bonita. And Bonita, and he used to get on my nerves because he always said, Bonita, Bonita, Bonita. And it's like, please don't call me Bonita. And I asked him, why do you call me Bonita all the time? You know, my name is Lorena. And he says, sister, I call you Bonita because you are Bonita. And you always see everything Bonita. You know, Bonita
it was a
means
good thing.
Bonita is beautiful.
Yes.
You know, and he says, sister, you always see everything beautiful. A bad day, it's stormy, it's raining, you look out the window and you say, oh, what a beautiful day. Qué día tan bonito.
Yeah.
You know, so everything around your life is Bonita. And that's why I call you Bonita. Well, Angie, I just want you to know that my brother passed away. And when my brother passed away, that's when I decided to name the company Bonita. Bonita, and then when, of course, my second husband, Mr. David Monroe, came into my life, he decided to add on natural.
Yes.
And he decided to put natural because natural, you can spell it in English or in Spanish the same way. It's natural. and you just pronounce it different. Bonita natural in Espanol and bonita natural in English.
Yes, you take your pick.
So now you know how Bonita Natural was born.
Yes. And so you could say that that cleaning company started you, your entrepreneurial spirit, into where you are today.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah. You know, my entire life, and I think this is why so many people that know me have so much respect for me, because they have always seen me working.
Yes.
Always, Angie. You know, when I got married with Clay, you know, he asked me what I wanted for a wedding gift, and I said, give me some dirt. And he went ahead and bought me a beautiful piece of land, which is right here at Leon Springs. And then, of course, you know, after we got married, I had my two beautiful boys, Devin and Dylan. They were, you know, back to back. So there were two boys. They almost looked like two twins because they were back to back. The second one was a little accident, but he's around, okay?
He's a blessing.
He's a blessing. He was my little blessing. So during that time, I decided to go into the restaurant business. And I am very grateful to Mr. Ron Acosta, the owner of the name and the recipe Las Palapas, because he is the gentleman that gave me the opportunity to start the first franchise of Las Palapas right here in San Antonio, Texas, which today is one of the fastest growing franchises in the heart of San Antonio.
Absolutely. That is one of our very favorite restaurants in San Antonio. And I don't think a lot of our viewers knew that about you, that you owned that.
Yes, I did. I started the first franchise. And of course, I had some great, beautiful mentors behind me that helped me, walk me through step by step. And yes, we went ahead and opened the first franchise right here at Leon Springs. So the Las Palapas that is right here at the Dominion, that was my first franchise, my first restaurant, and that really was my empire, and it is my empire, and it is a glorious feeling, Angie, to drive by there every day and there's nowhere to park. It is still a blessing. I want you to know that Pastor John Hagee was the beautiful pastor that came with me one morning at 5:30 in the morning and blessed that restaurant when we were breaking ground. That pastor was my mentor that gave me all the faith in the love and passion of what today it is of Las Palapas.
And so many times that is what we need is that person and to have the faith that you know that you can succeed and become a success.
Yes, I did. And you know what? The most important thing was that the Las Palapas was already established. It was already established restaurant. They had two locations. They had the West Avenue location, the Callahan location. And then when I came in, I went ahead and I opened the Dominion location. And after that, we started opening up more restaurants. But I just want you to know that the restaurant has been a home run because the recipe is so unique.
Yes.
You know, and it's a Tex-Mex recipe. But it really came from East LA because Mr. Ron Acosta is from East LA. And when he came here and we put our minds together and we became a team, we put it together and now it's one of the fastest growing franchises. And of course, Angie, I sold that 13 years ago. So I went ahead and I sold it, cashed out, and laughed my way to the bank.
And it is still so successful.
And it's still very successful because then I got married to Mr. Monroe, and of course, Mr. Monroe requested a lot of my time. He still does. And of course, I've been, supporting him in everything he does.
Yes, of course. Well, and it is always about faith and hard work because I'm sure if you look back, you remember all the hard work that you did put into it as well.
Believe it or not, Angie, I could walk in there tomorrow and bring you in there for lunch, and the employees that were there when it was my restaurant, they still treat me like the owner of that restaurant.
Oh.
They're still working because one thing that I did, Angie, is that when I went ahead and I transferred the ownership to the new owners, I went ahead and just made sure that all those employees were going to be protected to make sure that their jobs are going to be secure,
That's very
their
important.
wages were going to be secure. One thing that I've always done, Angie, is I have always taken care of my people. I have always deliver. When I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something, and I do it. And when I promise you a promise, I'm the woman that I am a woman of my word. At one point, Angie, it was to the point where the bankers knew me just by my word, they already knew I was going to pay, because they will always try to give me the loans. You know how those bankers are, they try to give you loans for 15 years or balloon loans, or, for the interest. And I would say, no, I'm going to come back and pay you in a year. And they say, oh, no, okay, Ms. Monroe, back in the days I was Ms. Suggs. No, Ms. Suggs, you can take your time paying the loan. Next thing you know, 9 months, 12 months, I was there paying the full loan. Because I've always been the kind of woman that steps up to the ladder and pays my responsibilities, because I'm a woman of my word.
Yes, and that is so important to keep moving forward as well. So let me ask you, with all the businesses that you have had throughout the years, is there anything in your future that you are planning on, a new project or something that we can share with our viewers? And if it's a secret, we'll keep a secret, right?
No, there's no secrets. There's no secret with Lorena Monroe. Angie, I think everyone that knows me knows that I am an open book. I am not real big in the social media like the way I should be, because a lot of people say, oh, Lorena, because of how you are and what you do, you should have millions of followers. I'm not about the millions of followers. I am about the quality of work that I like to do and the people that I love to help. I love to look at other people and love to help those people. And in order for you to commit to someone and help them, it's time. It's time, it's commitment, it's a procedure.
Yes.
So with me, it has always been about helping the people that surround me always, Angie. So yes, I do have many wonderful projects that I'm working on right now. Everyone that knows, I'm an open book, and I like to share as much as I can, Angie. But I just want you to know that in the past 2 years, back in 2020, January 2020, I made an announcement that I was launching my new company, Bonita Productions, because my husband went ahead and gave me that company for me to just go out and have fun with it. And I want you to know, Angie, that I am loving it.
That is a great gift.
I am loving it. I am loving it because I have been able to learn in the past 2 years everything that has to do behind the cameras. As a director, as a producer, as recording and editing and watching, and I have always loved the cameras. Everyone that knows me, they know that everywhere I walk into any party or any gathering, I'm always looking for the camera because I love taking pictures. And my husband is so the opposite. He sees the camera, he runs from the camera, he goes under the table and he hides. But everyone that knows me, they know that I run to the cameras, and so my husband was my photographer forever. All the events, the first 3 years as we were dating, how men love to please you when they're first dating you. He would always be taking my pictures, and he would always be so beautiful, and he realized of how much I love the photography, the camera. He saw how entertained I was with it, and so he decided to give me a company.
And those are the things also that we don't really, as the audience, we don't get to see, the behind the scenes, how it all comes together. So that I know there is a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yes, a lot. Yes.
Has there ever been a story from behind the scenes that you can remember that was your favorite, or that was funny? Or
you know what, Angie? I believe that every story of every person that I have covered, and there has been over 150 interviews that I've done in the 2021. So I started late 2020 because of the pandemic. Yes. We all got shut down because as soon as I launched my company, March of that year, everything went shut down. So what I did is I took advantage that time to better myself. To learn everything that I needed to learn about behind the scenes and about production.
Yes.
Now that I had an entire studio and an entire production company, it was time for me to go to school. So I did that. And it was probably the best thing I could have done, Angie. I always try to find a way to improve myself, to make myself a better person. Because I always say, people that know me, I always tell them, you know what? You are where you are because you choose to be there. Not because you have to be there. It's because of the choice you've made. So my choice is to be a better person. So late 2020, I started, doing a little bit of the recording, but 2021, I kicked it off doing lots of in-house interviews. So I did over 150 interviews, Angie, and I've got to tell you, every single one was a special interview. because it was a special person, because they had something special to share. They had something special to offer. They had a special message to give. So I started a show called Dos Latinas. So Sarah Lucero, as everyone knows.
Yes, we love Sarah.
We love Sarah Lucero. You know, she has her own company, The Spotlight with Sarah. I invited her to come up, you know, and be a part of the Dos Latinas, and she did, because the beauty about Sarah is that she understands, you know, the commitment that it is in front of the camera.
Yes, that is her background as well.
As well as the back of the cameras, because she's been in the business for years. So when I invited her, I just want you to know that I've learned so much from Sarah, you know, because Sarah is a natural.
Yes, she's a great person to learn from.
She is a natural. So she really was a great asset to Bonita Productions, because not only that she was my friend, she is my friend, but she was that stepping stone that we all need. You know how we always need that special friend to uplift you.
Absolutely.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree. We
Sarah,
those are our special friends.
That's right. Sarah was that friend there, you know, and I watched her, how she did the interviews, how she conducted, how she spoke, and the professionalism of that woman is amazing.
And it's not easy.
It is not easy, okay? So we started the Dos Latinas, and then of course the Dos Latinas is about anyone that is a Latina. Anyone that is a Latina and wants to be a part of the Dos Latinas, you are welcome to be a part of the Bonita Productions and be a part of the Dos Latinas, because
okay, there you go. So
that's right, because if you have something good to share with other people and you want to make money, you are in the right place with Lorena Monroe with the Dos Latinas. So with Sarah, I did lots of shows, very easy. You can go to YouTube, which I don't promote YouTube. So everyone that's watching this show, I want you to go to youtube.com and look for Bonita Productions and subscribe. Because the moment that you subscribe, every time that we upload a video, it would send you a little text message or notify you that there is a new video that you could watch. And I really do feel that you need to do that for me, because my stories are very interesting, because usually are people that are local. Now I'm traveling a little bit more into Mexico, because I'm opening up, you know, more doors for the production, for the company. Why? Because I'm ready. Why? Because the opportunities are there. Why? Because the need is there. Why? Because people want to be in front of cameras. Why? Because people have a message. So everyone that's watching this show, if you can do that, that would be wonderful. In Instagram, I used to have Bonita Natural and Bonita Productions together, and it was a little too confusing, because obviously the boutique, I had to shut it down for about a year and a half, a little bit, because I mean, you know, who was I going to sell a dress to, and where were they going to go to? Everything was shut down.
Yes, we did go through that time.
We went through that stage. So I went ahead and just put all my focus in Bonita Productions. So we had both companies in that one Instagram. So what I did now is I separated on Instagram Bonita Productions USA and Bonita Natural. So Bonita Natural is old fashioned, and yes, I'm still in the fashion business. I'm still wearing all these beautiful dresses, and I'm still selling them. Everybody that knows me, Angie, I only buy one of a kind. I am known for one of a kind. You will not find 2 or 3 dresses, because they're only one, and that's it. What you see is what you get.
Yes, and now that you bring that up, I know that's one of the other questions that our viewers would like to know. As always, whenever we see you at events, you are dressed to the nines. You look fantastic, and I'm wondering, is there some article of clothing that you have that maybe you love it so much that maybe you would wear it twice? Is there anything that you really, really love from your clothing? And I know you never wear anything twice. Nobody ever sees you wear anything twice.
I try not to.
But is there some article of clothing that you really love?
Yes. So there are 2 special designers that I do work with, and one of them is Kiki Riki New York. They are amazing. They are just out of this world. So their whole entire line is for everyone. I mean, I'm talking from teenagers to 60-year-olds. I'm almost 60, okay? I love,
fantastic.
I love their line of clothing, because it's colorful, it's fun, it's chic, but it's inexpensive. Okay, so yes, I do work with Kiki Riki New York. I also work with another line called J Squat, and they are beautiful. They are the kind of dresses that everyone must own because they are very flowy, very colorful. They remind me, the entire print of the entire collection of that designer reminds me of Roberto Cavalli.
Yes.
That style,
Beautiful clothing.
that elegance,
Yes.
just exquisite of the prints and everything, you know. So I love J Squat. So yes, I do wear that sometimes twice, or the Kikiriki. And of course, as everyone knows, I have my own line of bandage dresses, which they're called bandage, Bonita bandage. The bandage are fabulous. I always try to carry one of a kind, and it's always a challenge because, you know, everybody always sometimes, oh, I want that dress, or, you know, where can I get that dress? And it's only one of a kind. So I try to get one small, one medium, one large. So it's
you have
three.
to shop fast.
Shop with Bonita Natural. You got to stay on it. You got to shop fast because you come in, you see it, you buy it. Next thing you know, it's gone. I cannot get it back because why? Fashion is so wonderful, and that's why I love fashion. Angie, as everyone knows, I love fashion, you know, and it just changes. And I love to share that. So I did start it back in the 2021, a line called Bonita's Closet. And the Bonita's Closet is because it's semi-wear. So if I wear it, A, you get it at a wholesale price, B, you're gonna get it one of a kind, and C, it's gonna be very reasonable. So my dresses start from $25 and up.
Yes, very affordable.
I mean, I think of everyone's budget, and I think that's why people love me. People love me because I feed everybody when I had Las Palapas at the right budget. I started like the 49 cents tacos and then 99 cents tacos, you know. And with the dresses, you know, my dresses start $25, $45, $150. Right now we have the entire spring collection of dresses for prom. They're beautiful, Angie.
It's a great time to be shopping.
It's a great time to be shopping. And this year, a lot of schools are having prom. So yes, please contact me because I only work by private appointments.
Okay, so please remember that. We will give you all that information as well. And I know you mentioned the bandage dresses, and everybody that I've ever seen wear a bandage dress looks fantastic. They're shapely and they just look amazing. And so Lorena, another question that a lot of our viewers are wondering about is your workout routine. We always see you, you're always looking fabulous. Is it something that you need to work out 5 days a week? Is it something you only do 2 days a week? I know for me, I gravitate more towards the ice cream than the treadmill, but how is it for you? How is your workout routine?
Well, you know what, Angie? I am military time. I have been on military like practically all my life. I wake up very early and I have my 2 cups of coffee, and then I work out 6 days a week.
Wow, 6 days
6
a week.
days. The only times I do not work out is when I travel.
That takes a lot of discipline.
Exactly. So I want you to know, Angie, that I just turned 58 years old, March the 8th.
And you look fantastic.
Thank you, Angie. And I went to Miami with my children, with my 2 beautiful boys and their fiancés, their girlfriends. And I want you to know that my boys said, Mamacita, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I want you to take pictures of Mamacita.
Yes.
So we went out to the beach and we did some fabulous photos. And when I upload some of them, because I did not upload all the photos, my friends, my cousins, my family, everybody was like amazed. Lorena, you look fabulous. You look so good. And I said, there's only one key to it: discipline. If you are disciplined in your life, you will be successful. If you commit to be disciplined, like I teach my kids, you will get where you need to get. Your goal will be accomplished because you're disciplined. I'm very disciplined. I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in watching the calories. I don't believe in killing myself and starving myself.
Do you watch what you eat? Do you eat more healthier
I eat
foods?
healthier, yes. As I was young, I used to love the donuts and the big cinnamon rolls with lots of butter on top. Those were
Getting hungry.
those were my weakness. But as we get older, we just get to learn our system. Once you understand your system, you just balance what you eat. you know what's right, you know what's right. And as we get older, we change. Because sometimes, like I used to like raw onion, but onion doesn't like me anymore. There's certain foods that don't like me anymore.
The older we get,
I still love them.
Our tastes even change.
Exactly. So I'm very consistent with my workout. So yes, I do work out 6 days a week. No excuses.
It is definitely working for you.
It is.
So I wish I could be a little more disciplined like that.
It is.
So, we've had a lot of questions come in, and so many of our viewers want to know other things about you. For example, they want to know, with you being as busy as you are, always in a meeting or in a new project, do you ever have time to just sit and watch a TV show?
I have time every day for my TV show. So I want you to know that when I'm not out in events with my husband or commitments, we do have a lot of dinners and a lot of private events, which I don't put on social media at all because they're private. I want you to know that I always find my time for my novela. My soap opera at night.
Which one is that?
Well, there's some. There's some in Telemundo, some in Univision. They're usually the Spanish soap opera.
Yes.
And the only reason why I love to watch them is because I love the Mexican actress, and I also love the actress from other continents, like the Indian act. I love the way they dress.
I was going to say, their dress, their clothes is always amazing.
The women from Turkey are fabulous. I just love their style, their hair, their makeup. I mean, all those Turkish novelas are awesome.
Yes.
All the from Italy, from Italia. Las italianas son hermosas, la ropa. O sea, yes, I do have my TV time. Angie.
So that kind of fits in with your fashion love as well, because it goes from top of the head to the tip of the toes, with your hair and the makeup and the clothes. And yes, those telenovelas are amazing. Yes, beautiful actresses. Yes, I agree completely. What about books? Do you ever read? Do you like to read? Do you have a favorite author?
You know what? I only have read a few books in my life. I stopped reading when I graduated from high school, so I'm not a big reader. And one of the books that I've read was Celine Dion's life. I love Celine Dion.
Yes.
So when I won the Mrs. Mexico pageant back in 1996, they asked me, who is your favorite person that you look up to? And I looked up to Celine Dion. I love Celine Dion. I just love that woman. She, everything about her music, the beauty of her, the story, her love for her husband.
Yes, she has had an amazing life.
The unconditional love that she had for her husband. It was her manager, how she felt love with her manager. It's that book. Yes. And of course, there's some of the books that I see of Oprah. I love Oprah. Oprah is wonderful.
She's very inspirational as well.
Giving, a very hardworking woman. So yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I'm not a big reader, but I do have an iPad, and I do look at the books. And I also, of course, read San Antonio Monthly Magazine, and I get I get to read everybody that features in the magazine.
Yes, and we have wonderful articles and wonderful people in San Antonio Monthly Magazine.
And it's amazing of all the people that you discovered through the magazine. So yes, I do read a little bit of the magazines, but I'm not like only a one-person dedication. I give the opportunity to everyone because you learn from everyone.
Yes, absolutely. There's always something to learn from everybody you meet. Absolutely.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What do you think is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength is my personality. My greatest strength is my confidence.
Yes.
My greatest strength is the love that I give to everyone. My greatest strength is I love to lead by example. I love to say, look, you can do this, because this is how I do it. And I show him. So that's my greatest strength.
And sometimes that's all it takes is for somebody to tell you, yes, you can do it.
Yes, you can do it.
And if need be, I can help you do it and show you how I did it. And so that is very important, especially when we are trying to lift other people up as well.
Exactly. Like for an example, with the Dos Latinas show. So we had Sarah Lucero, but I also have another beautiful friend of mine. Her name is Lisa Vattel. She's a professional chef, and she's got her own cooking show, Chef and Heels, and she does amazing. And she's Chilena, she's from Chile, and she's married to a gentleman, a European guy. And I mean, she does all the high-end cuisine. just her alone, I learned from her. I've learned the beauty about everything that she does and how she mixtures the cultures.
Yes.
So I love that. So that's the other beautiful Latina that we have on board with those Latinas.
And that's a talent, too.
Exactly, which we're getting ready to do some great cooking shows, and they're going to be for Fiesta and Cinco de Mayo.
Wonderful. We look forward to seeing that.
Yes.
And speaking of food and your chef, what would you say is your favorite food that you could possibly eat every single day if you had to?
Oh, I gotta say, I love the. Right now, I love eating salads every day. I mean, salads have been my key to be how I am today. Healthy, because I think having greens and having vegetables and having the mixture of some of the protein, which you can change the protein a little bit.
Yes.
I'm not heavy into meats anymore like I used to. I'm not heavy into the tortillas or the tacos like I used to. I'm not heavy into a lot of like the pizzas and the hamburgers like I used to. But now it's my greens. I have to have my greens every day, and I mix them. So I mix them with different proteins, different vegetables. You can never get tired of salads.
Well, salads are not the same salad today that they were 100 years ago.
Exactly.
Salads are so much better now because I know with my salads I can put strawberries in there and chickpeas and so many other fruits and a little bit of chicken and some shrimp, and you can really dress it up. Sometimes I don't even feel like I'm eating healthier because I love the food so much. So I've grown to love salads as well. Yes, I eat those very often. So tell me, did you mention that you were going to start the new Dos Latinas show, and when is that going to be?
Okay, so right now we are doing something amazing. So Bonita Productions is going to take the production to a totally different level. Because now that I've learned everything that I've learned in the past 2 years, okay, I have always been wanting to direct. I have always been wanting to direct and produce and direct, and also being able to be in front of the camera as well as back of the camera, and just challenging myself. We are doing a Dos Latinas show with a beautiful Latina that everyone's gonna love. Her name is Casey Luna. Casey Luna is a songwriter, and she's a professional singer, and she is also a trainer for horse riding. So she has trained people that have won the championships in Spain riding horses. So she's someone that's just passionate about that. And as you know, Angie.
Yes, we know your new passion is horses.
Horses.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that.
Yes, so will you be telling us more about that passion and showing more about the horses that you're involved with?
Yes, well, what I want to do is I want to invite everyone to follow Dos Latinas, because Dos Latinas is kicking off a new program May 2nd. We're going to go ahead and launch the first show, and it's going to be all about Bonita learning how to ride horses.
We're going to look forward to seeing that.
So I want to be able to direct a new show with Dos Latinas that is going to tell a story, that is going to tell a little bit about the Latina culture, that is going to tell us a little bit about the charros, the charras, just everything that has to do with the theme of the mariachis, of the Mexican culture. I want to be able to bring that at front as a director, as a producer, and as an actress in front of the camera. So that's my new challenge in my life, Angie.
That really wakens up our Hispanic heritage spirit as well. So I'm very, very looking forward to seeing that. So we have another kind of fun little question for you from one of our viewers, and they want to know, if you could only have 3 things on a desert island, what would you want them to be?
Well, the only 3 things that I would love to have in the desert will be, 1 is music. I gotta have a music box. 2, I would definitely love to have a Bible. Okay, because I have a Bible everywhere I go. And I just love having my Bible with me all the time. You know,
Yes.
in my car. I mean, I just, if you walk in
Yes,
here,
you feel the Holy Spirit.
feel, you know, just the Bible.
Yes.
The beauty. I wake up to music every morning. Every morning I wake up to music. Every morning, you know, I just grab my little Bible and just open it, and I just read one paragraph. I don't read the Bible because I don't. I just read one paragraph every morning, and it's a message. So those little messages, I get on my treadmill and I think about what the message I read, and it's amazing of how things do work, Angie.
Yes, and it speaks to you.
Yes.
And then you see throughout your day how it does play a part in what you read.
Yes.
And once you think about it.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing that I would love to do if I was just out there in the desert is definitely just be able to have that meditation time, because I love to meditate. I think meditation is important for me. I think meditation has gotten me where I'm at today. People need to learn how to disconnect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You were probably thinking about that I needed to expect to have my cell phone, but no, no, Angie, no.
Right. There would be no service.
There would be no service. Okay. I would want to disconnect.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes when I travel, you know, and I go to different parts, I just disconnect.
Yes.
And what a feeling, what a beautiful feeling it is. What a feeling it is to just be disconnected from everyone and just you and out there and connecting out there.
Yes.
It's just
and we all
feeling.
need to learn how to do that,
Yes.
even for short periods of time, I think, because I am very connected as well to my phone. And yes, there are times that sometimes I'll forget it at home and I go back home to get it. And so I do believe that it does feel good to disconnect at times and just focus on other things.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so I know that you also like to help other charities, and San Antonio has wonderful charities, so many wonderful charities helping so many people. What are some of the charities that you really like?
Well, you know what, Angie, there is over 350 nonprofit organizations right here in the heart of San Antonio. And I've got to say, you know, I try to touch a lot of them.
Yes.
And there's not a favorite one that I have because they're all my favorite.
Right.
They all have a different mission,
Yes.
a different message, a different need. So yeah, I am big. Cerro Lucero is big, you know, with nonprofits.
Yes.
The Latina, Casey Luna, that's coming on board, she's got her own nonprofit. And I don't want to say much about her because I want to be doing an interview with her this week.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise, and I want her to express herself because I want you to listen of who she is.
Yes.
Why did I chose her to be a part of the Dos Latinas? Why did I chose her to take the time with me to train me of how to be the best horse rider? Because I've got such a beautiful connection with horses right now, and I've discovered a new beauty in my life, a new passion, you know, thanks to a very sweet dear friend of mine, you know, Raimundo Cuautli in Mexico, that just invited me just out of the blue to go horseback riding. And next thing you know, here I am, I come back home and my husband says, "Bebita, all you talk about is horses. Should I buy you a ranch?"
Yes.
I said, sure, buy me a ranch, why not, right? Now, there's so
Yes.
many people up here that have beautiful ranches, and I think through those Latinas, we're going to be featuring some of the beautiful ranches here in San Antonio, because I'm right here in San Antonio. We're going to be featuring some of the most amazing and most beautiful horses anybody could ever see. So we're going to be learning. Lorena's going to be learning a lot about ranches. I'm going to be learning a lot about horses. I'm going to be learning a lot about the mission that horses do for children in need, for
Yes,
people
yes.
in need, of all the beautiful things that horses do. It's going to be amazing. So I'm excited about putting it behind camera. So yes, that's going to be my new challenge.
They are such majestic animals, and SA Monthly magazine has a great article on your trip that
Yes.
you learned about your passion with
Yes,
horses.
with horses, absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So we have so thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you today. And if I could ask you one last question, it would be, can you describe Lorena Monroe in 5 words?
Yes. Lorena Monroe, first of all, is like a little box of chocolate. Every time you take the ribbon, it's going to be a different flavor. Lorena Monroe is a dreamer. I dream every day. And if I don't dream for me, I will dream for you. For an example, Casey, the beautiful Latina that's coming on board, she has a dream. And she sees herself as what she is. She's a very talented young lady. And I'm going to be able to deliver her dream in front of the camera because she's a talented woman. So I am a dreamer. I dream, but I am the kind of dreamer, because there's two kinds of dreamers. The dreamers that stay on dreaming and the dreamers that make a dream a reality.
Yes.
I have made every dream a reality. Everything that I've been wanting to do in life, I've done it. So it's been an accomplishment.
Yes.
It's been a blessing. Why? Because I've had the support always. It's a team effort.
Yes.
It's a teamwork, but it's also people that believe in you. And thanks to all the beautiful people out there that just love me, that support me with my companies, with Bonita Natural, that support me with Bonita Productions, just because of your support, that gives me more of inspiration to be better, to be a better person, and to be able to give you more. Why? Because if I can do it, you can do it. So yes, I am a dreamer, and I love to make dreams a reality for myself, but now I'm making dreams a reality for other people. And I love that. I'm enjoying every bit of it. I think that's the most beautiful part about owning my own production company, that I have it because I am putting people on the spotlight and putting them on the spotlight like you are today. You're on the spotlight today, and you're such a beautiful woman. And ever since I met you so many years ago, I knew that there was a beauty behind you, and you have so much to offer. You're such a great writer. Angie Lozano happens to be the writer for SA Monthly magazine and for other magazines she has written, but she has done a lot of things, and she also has a wonderful nonprofit that she's involved. But we will get to know all about her, because I'm going to get to interview her very soon, and you're going to get to see her interview at another interview, right, Angie?
Yes. That is going to be a fun interview.
And then the other thing about Lorena Monroe is I am probably the most passionate woman you'll ever meet. I am so passionate that my biggest challenge in my life is to make sure that I keep Mr. David Monroe in love with me.
Yes,
that's my challenge. That's my challenge. To make sure, I just had a gathering not too long ago, a few days ago here at the house, and I was having a discussion, and I remember that my friend called me the next day and says, Lorena, I just admire of how you were discussing in the table, and I always enjoy watching your husband see you, because he sees you with those loving eyes. He sees you with love. And I said, Monica, it's because my biggest challenge is to make sure that I always keep my husband in love with me.
Yes, that is very important.
I like to be a little different. I like to be totally different. And the other thing that you need to know about me is I never tell people what I'm going to do. I love to surprise people. I love to say, okay, it's done, or I'm doing it. I'm not the kind of people that like to speak out loud. I don't like to speak out loud until I get it done, because it's a process. Once you tell somebody, it might not go, because a lot of times, Angie, as you know, things never go the way you plan.
Yes, that happens. You're
right. Okay, you agree? So right now, those are the 5 things about me.
Yes.
And the most beautiful thing is that I do have a beautiful man in my life, David Monroe, and I got to say, I absolutely love my husband. My husband has been the biggest inspiration in my life. He's my pillow, and he supports me with everything. I'm so grateful because he always believes in me. He always lets me be me. Every day it's like he opens the door, and he lets me go out, and he lets me fly and do whatever I want to do. And there's never ever a controlling with him, or insecurity or jealousy, or there's never any of that. We have such a beautiful relationship.
A little bit more about your husband and about SANSAT.
SANSAT San Antonio, our Museum of Science and Technology, it's getting ready to open up its new doors. Late May, beginning of June, we're going to have the grand opening, and it is going to be out of this world. My husband, for the past 4 years, has been working so hard to put this museum together. And thanks to the Port of San Antonio and everyone supporting David Monroe and his dream, it is actually a dream come true for him. So Angie, you don't know how delightful and how happy I am, but most of all, I am so appreciative that everyone is supporting him, that everyone that believes in him, it's there helping him, but most of all is the Port of San Antonio. The Port of San Antonio saw the beauty of what David had to bring to the table. And when they saw that, they took advantage of that and they said, we're here to support you. So today, the Port of San Antonio is getting ready to open up its new facilities. And you know, the beauty about it, Angie, that it's going to be able to help so many people. You know, we're going to be able to provide jobs. We're going to be able to provide, you know, education, centers where we can help people find jobs. It's just different things, you know. So if you go to samsat.org, you get to find out everything that we do. Everything that we do. And of course, right now we are looking for sponsors. We're always looking for sponsors. We are looking for our main sponsor that would like to take the lead for this museum right here in San Antonio with everything that has to do with science and technology. We're definitely looking for that sponsored. So what have I done in the past 4 years? I have been supporting my husband. One thing that my husband did ask, Angie, is that he did not want to be in social media, so I totally have to respect that. So that's why you don't see much pictures of me. You know, before I used to put every single picture on social media, and he just says, you know, right now he just did not want to be. And I have to respect that. I have to respect what my husband does because he respects me on what I want to do. So I think it's important for both of us to respect each other and what we want to do. But yeah, you can Google David Monroe, SAMSAT San Antonio, and you can read all about it because it's all over the internet.
Yes, well, and it is also a dream come true for San Antonio because I've seen children at the museum and they love it and have a great time. And so I think it's a wonderful thing that y'all have done for San Antonio as well.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Angie. Yes, we have put, you know, a lot into it, but it is a dream come true for myself and as well as for my husband. But my husband has definitely, you know, been in the mission through his whole entire life because he's a collector. You know, he has collected his entire life. So now is the time for him to shine. And also leaving a beautiful legacy for the Monroes. So we're going to leave a legacy of education, of science and technology for the rest of everyone.
Yes, that is a wonderful thing.
Many generations. So David Monroe is about making a difference in the world. And I believe that today we are making a difference in the world, Angie, just with supporting education, Monroe's supporting education, and also with leaving a beautiful legacy for everyone to enjoy and everyone to be a part of. And that's what I love about David Monroe. David is about sharing, giving, and protecting. Because he's very protective. You know, he helps in protecting people that are inventors, young inventors here in San Antonio. He makes sure that, you know, he protects to make sure that their patents don't get, you know, taken advantage of. And he does a lot of things, you know. I mean, he does a lot of things.
He needs a show by himself.
He needs
all about
a
him.
whole show all by himself. But I just want you to know that he has definitely been my pillow. He's my guardian angel, and I have been his pillow, and I am his guardian angel.
Well, you are a blessing to each other, and that's the best kind of relationship you can have.
It is. There's nothing more beautiful out there than having a beautiful relationship with the one you love.
Yes.
And the biggest challenge is make sure, ladies, that we keep our husbands in love. Right?
There you go. Yes.
That's my secret.
Well, we have had such a great time sitting and talking with you, Lorena. Thank you so much again for allowing us into your beautiful home. And thank you, everyone, all of our viewers, for tuning in to SA Monthly Magazine TV.
Thank you. Hasta la vista.